Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Oh, this is so weird. Let's do that again. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Vish and today we're going to be talking about the books that I guess I want to read in October, and also I'll be giving you some recommendations of books that you should read in October. And by October I mean spooky month. Look at me wearing a fall sweater, which is weird because it's spring in Australia, not fall. But anyway, I'm gonna be splitting the videos into two sections. The first one being the books I want to read in October, but I don't know anything about it. I haven't read yet. And I'll be giving recs for you guys so you can read some nice spooky books in October. It's really hard to do recommendations video because I'm trying to get back into reading, so I'm discovering new books. So hopefully the books that I recommend to you guys will be useful and you haven't read them yet. So most of these books are basically thriller mysteries. I don't think there's any horror. No, there's no horror, just thriller mysteries. Thriller mysteries are basically like my go-to genre when I need like a palate cleanser between one high fantasy to another high fantasy. So the first book that I wanted to read in October is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. All I know about this book is essentially this woman who had a perfect life and then one day she killed her husband, and then she hasn't spoken since then. It's been 6 years and she's now in like a psych ward, and now someone's trying to find out why that is. Very, very interesting. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews for this. I've seen a lot of good ones, but then also there's a lot of not bad ones, but people that just didn't like it because they guessed the twist at the end. I hope that's not me, but I'm sort of good at predicting the end of thrillers. The thrillers that I don't predict are the ones that make it into my favorites list. Turn of the key. Very excited to read this. Hopefully again I don't guess the ending. And I'm also going to be buddy reading this with my buddy in the Shelf Space Discord, Charmaine. If you're watching, I'm very, very excited to buddy read this with you. And the next book I want to read is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This comes highly recommended by my friend Jessie Mae from Jessie Mae. What? I meant this book comes highly recommended by Jessie Mae, whose channel's name is Jessie Mae. Comes from Jessie Mae. Did you birth yourself, Jessie? Oh my god. Anyway, she really likes this book, and now me and my other two friends from Shelf Space, Abby and Sam, I'm gonna be buddy reading this in October. We are very excited. All I know is about this couple who has like a perfect marriage, but obviously behind closed doors, we don't know what's happening. So I'm very, very excited to read this. I'm not a big fan of domestic thrillers, but I want to give some a chance, and I want to see which ones I don't like, which ones I like. So hopefully I like this one. Now the next book I want to read is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Now I've read Riley Sager's previous book, Lock Every Door, which will be in my recommendations section, spoiler alert. Anyway, I loved Lock Every Door, it was good. So I wanted to give Home Before Dark a try. It's basically about this girl who used to live in this haunted house when she was a child, and then her dad wrote a book about it. And then her dad dies and she basically has to return to that childhood house to prepare to sell it, and she finds out more things about it and things start happening. It's essentially all I know, which is fine. I like to go into my thrillers and my mysteries just relatively blind. Very, very excited to read this. I think this also plays to the concept of is it paranormal, is it not paranormal, which I really like. So very excited. Now the last book that I might read in October, just because it's a junker, so I'm not too sure, but I will try, Jessie, okay? And that is Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. Again, highly recommended by Jessie Mae. This is her favorite book of all time. It's a lot of pressure, you know, to read this and then you don't like it. So hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll get to it in October. What is this book about? All I know about this book is that there's this boy who goes into the woods, gets lost for 3 days, and then comes back, and then has an imaginary friend. That's all I know. It's very creepy, for sure. Hopefully I can get to it because it is a chunker. I think it's like 700 pages. Yeah, it's 700 pages. We'll see. Definitely want to read this though. Not sure if I'll do it in October. Maybe, we'll see. All right, let's get into the recommendations part of the video. All right, the first book I'm going to recommend is, of course, The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This book is about a girl who gets a job babysitting these kids in the middle of nowhere. And as she's babysitting these kids, weird things starts happening in this house and she has to figure out what's going on. The interesting thing is this book is told in letter format. It's told through the babysitter who is actually currently in jail for killing one of the kids. This is not a spoiler, by the way. This is like literally the first page of the book. She is writing the letter to her lawyer explaining what actually happened. So it also has that concept of is it paranormal, is it not paranormal kind of thing. And I love that. So I absolutely love this book. It is my favorite thriller of all time. It's just so good. Pick this up if it sounds really intriguing because I absolutely enjoyed it. I know a few people didn't because of the ending, but I personally like it even more because of the ending. So it really is like a preference thing. So pick it up and see what you think. And the next book I'm going to recommend is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. It's about this girl called Jules who has been offered this job to apartment sit for a ridiculous amount of money. I wish I had that job, but I don't wish it because stuff happens, obviously. Anyway, she has this job to apartment sit, and while she's apartment sitting, she has to follow all these types of rules that have been given to her. So she can't sleep over at someone else's house, or she can't bring people to the apartment. Just shady stuff, basically. As she's apartment sitting, she meets a friend in the building called Bartholomew Building, and she talks to this friend, and this friend basically tells her how this building is haunted, and then the next day, the friend goes missing. So this is a very, very fast-paced book as well, and there are certain scenes that are like at the edge of your seat and you're creeped out. There's a certain scene with a dumbwaiter. It's just very creepy and very, I felt very anxious reading it, so just be mindful of that, but this was very good. Definitely pick this up. And the next one I want to talk about is Truly Devious. This is a, I guess, YA thriller mystery series. Actually, it's a trilogy. It's Truly Devious being the first book. And it's very fall-esque. It has that, again, not dark academia vibes, but it has that academia fall vibe if you're looking for that. Because this book is basically set at a elite boarding school. And it was built in the 1930s, I think, by this billionaire who wants the smartest kids to attend the school and make the world better. And during the 1930s, that billionaire's wife and child was kidnapped and a ransom note was left, and that case was never solved. So coming to the present, and we follow our main character Stevie, who gets accepted to go to this boarding school, and she basically is going to that boarding school to solve the 1930s mystery. So this book is told in two different timelines. So it's told through 1930s and also with the present, which is really, really good for this thriller mystery because you find things out in the past and simultaneously find things out in the present as well. And this is sort of like a Sherlock Holmes-esque kind of book because Stevie obviously is like a detective and she has to figure out all of these clues and try and find who kidnapped the billionaire's wife and kid. The conclusion of the series was actually really, really good. I read it a couple of months ago. It was excellent. So definitely pick this up if you're looking for just like just an easy YA thriller mystery read, but also a really compelling mystery as well. And the last book I wanted to recommend was The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This book is essentially about this wedding that takes place in a remote island in Ireland? Yeah, in Ireland. And this wedding is going on and someone gets murdered. And this book is also told in two different timelines, the past and also the present. The present is this group of guys trying to find the body, I guess, and the murderer. Whereas in the past, you find out the events leading up to the murder. And there's 6 perspectives in this story. At first, I thought that was a lot, but I actually listened to the audiobook while reading this, and it was really great experience because each perspective has like their own voice actor, and also each perspective have a distinctive voice, so you know who is who. This was really, really good. The characterization of this book was done spectacularly. Obviously, because we're trying to find out who the murderer is, we have to find out more about the characters. I read her first book, The Hunting Party. Yeah, it's just down there. And that one didn't do the characterization as well as the guest list. That's why I'm recommending guest list, because it's much better than The Hunting Party. This was done really well. I could not guess the murdered and the murderer until it was happening. It's a really, really good book. And it's not that long. It's short. It's an easy read. I think I read it in like 24 hours, I guess. It was a really, really good read. So you just want like an isolated thriller. This one really has good atmosphere because, like I said, it's set in a isolated island. It has that spooky vibes as well. It's just really, really good. Just pick it up, okay? Just pick it up. So those are all the books I want to read in October, and books that you should read in October if you're looking for any thriller mysteries to read during that time. Let me know in the comments down below other thriller mysteries that you think that I might enjoy. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!